Space is very important if you have imported in a floor plan when you set up your structure. This can happen a couple different ways. It could come in through the Capture IT app. So if you go out and do your data collection with Capture IT and then upload that, you would then see the floor plan with all the items filled in that went with that floor. Um, if you didn't, if maybe somebody collected data manually or some other way, then you can update the floor plan here. You can navigate it through the left here through the site, so I can change floors very easily. Um, and I can change up here. I can change my floors or buildings or wherever I need to go. So let's just go to floor 2. The important thing to do first is to scale the floor, show how big things are. You right click and say I want to scale. And usually doorways are a good thing to do. So I do 1 click, 2 clicks, the width of that door. Click OK in this case, but it could be 3 feet, a yard, whatever it is. So now the floor is scaled. So that's important if we're going to look at walk distances or anything like that. The other thing we can do is we can draw areas. So let's say I want to call this whole section 1 department. I want to say I want to add area. And then I click. You can see I'm going around that area, and it doesn't have to be a square, it can be any shape you want. I go back to the beginning and I click it, and here's my area. Let's call it purchasing floor 2. And then if I set up my departments ahead of time, I can select purchasing. And that way anything I put in this area will be part of the purchasing department, and I can change my colors however I want to define that. So I can have multiple departments out here. You can see purchasing floor 2, and I have it here. The next thing I would want to do on this floor is if I had to collect data manually, I can then go to current assets. You see I don't have any yet. I would just right click here, say I want to add a device. Here's my whole big database of devices. Let's just go search on. It can be make, model, whatever you want. I'm going to select a let's select a networked device, and we applied. So you would search, find the one you want, and here we have in our purchasing department a multi-function. It's networked, it's A3 capable. If it was an inkjet, we would have an ink drop here. If it was color, we would have color here. And this icon changes depending on what it is. So a printer is a different icon, all-in-one's a different icon, and you would see that as you do it. This is the label that goes with it. I can drag it around, place it wherever I want. For now, you'll want to keep it on the floor. If I drag it off the floor when I output it, you would lose sight of that. The other thing is I can change what shows in that label by clicking on this gear. And here are all my different information. What I want to do is click custom settings. You see what's here, but if I want to add, let's say, the make, I click that and it'll be on here. The other thing I can do is define a radius around that device, kind of like a walk distance kind of thing. So click OK. Here is my device now, and you see it now says Rico, and so that's really helpful. I can now drag this around as well, place it wherever I need it. And you can continue that way, picking devices and adding them as required. The other thing is we can add a computer device now. So in this case, I'm going to say I want to create a new model, and let's just make it a Dell. and we click OK, and there I now have my Dell. I didn't say what kind of asset it was, so let's go back into edit it, and if we say it is a if we say category wise that it is, let's say, a laptop computer, you'll see the icons now change. So we, in this new version, we now can plot more than just output devices, which is really helpful. And the other thing is when I get my whole big list here, I can change how I look at it. So I'm just showing the floor now. I could show everything in the project. I could show what's plotted. If I say not plotted, those go away. So a lot of different ways to look at the data. Also, if I have a big list, I can change how many are presented in that list. And then finally, different video shows you how to import data. But if the data was all imported here ahead of time, you can drag it over and place it on the floor. As I said, we'll show you that in another video. Just a couple things about viewing it. I can scroll in and out with these buttons, and I can change the size of my icons and the size of my labels with these, and this bar lets me change how dark that icon is. So a lot of capabilities with the floor plan.